Thanks so much for coming,
Yeah.
Rebecca.
I'm excited.
This is the Karen Mitches podcast, and this is Rebecca McDonald.
Hello.
How's your day going?
It's all right. It's good. It's good. It's good. I had the day off, so I took a dip in the pool.
Nice.
Yeah, and then I made shakshuka.
What is shakshuka?
Shakshuka is an egg dish where you make just a red sauce, and then you crack eggs into it, and then you poach the eggs in the sauce, and then just kind of dip it with bread. It's delicious.
That sounds amazing. Are you a really good cook?
Yes, I am.
Is this like your jam, your thing?
Yes. Like I have 2 Instagram accounts, one for comedy and one for food.
Oh, I didn't know that. That's amazing. So what's your culinary kind of focus?
Okay. I mean, I don't know. If I go out to a restaurant and I have something like this is so good, I make a mental note of it, and then eventually I'll try to recreate it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love that. I don't have those sorts of
No.
skills.
It's nice. Like, I live with my boyfriend, and like before I had someone to cook for, cooking was like, okay, it's a really good dish, but like, who cares?
Yeah.
Right. But now that I have someone to cook for, it's so much more exciting. I'm like, did you like it? He's like, yeah, I liked it. I'm like, oh yes.
That's amazing. That's actually really sweet. I've thought about it before, like I need to get a partner who cooks so I can but you know what? I don't even mind like meal prep for myself. It's more like I don't like entertaining, and I feel a bit embarrassed to make food for guests. And so I would love it if I had a partner who liked doing that and was like, having fun doing that, and I could just be like making jokes while they cook.
Yeah, I mean, that's a lovely fantasy. But I'm gonna tell you right now, like, if I'm in the kitchen and someone's there talking to me, I'm like, fucking move. Like, I'm busy. Like, go sit. Like give me 10 minutes and I'll bring it to you. Then we can talk. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah, no, for sure. I love it. Do you guys entertain a lot?
I like to. Like, I like having little parties, Like, I had a birthday party a couple weeks ago at my place. It was nice. I didn't actually cook for anybody this time. But it is and it's like, it's lovely to have people over and like just like show off, and you're like, I cooked this, and people are like, wow. You're like, I know, yeah. Like, say it again, say more words to me. Like,
Okay, so what's the most satisfying thing? Like cooking a good meal, making someone laugh, or like getting someone to sing along to your music?
oh my god. Oh my god. Okay, I would say singing along.
Yeah.
Yes, absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely.
I get into this conversation with people a lot where it's like music versus comedy, and it's music, right? Like,
yeah. Well, I think as like, like we're a little spoiled sometimes with how easy it is to get, I mean, it's not easy to get people to laugh, but like when you're getting people laughing and it's going, like boom, boom, boom. That's like, it's like, cool. I got my laughs in. Good. Yes. Right. But like, imagine like, how even like professional sing, like imagine like you're in concert with Sabrina Carpenter, Actually, that's a bad example. But like, imagine like you're at like a concert, and then like people start singing along to the song. Like that's harder to accomplish than just like making a joke kind of
yeah,
thing.
because you could be liking a song, but you're not singing along to it.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
Okay, so is music is the first love?
Yeah, I guess so. Like I do musical comedy, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, and like joke writing and songwriting are different things altogether, right? Like joke writing, I feel like, I don't know, I feel like with joke writing you can just kind of start anywhere, and then like you can kind of direct yourself towards the laugh, whereas with like a song, if it starts out and it's not if it's not a good premise off the top, it's not going to be a good song ever, kind of thing.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I guess it's so far away from what I do, because I don't. But do you get the song first and then you sort of go in and add the lyrics?
Yeah, kind of. I think like just music inherently has a feeling to it. Like the chords you choose, sort of have like I don't know, like a depth to them, like a history almost kind of thing, right? And then so I know, okay, I want the song to be about this, and then then my brain is in, okay, what is like this, like what are the lyrics like, and like why do these chords make that kind of thought, you know, happen, kind of thing, right?
Yeah. And then there's like an extra layer to it, because I feel like with comedy sometimes you're going against the song.
Okay.
Like do you ever see people, you'll see this like on YouTube, where someone takes a beautiful song and they put comedy lyrics to it, so it becomes
parodies.
vulgar or something. So it's like you're taking something really serious, but then you're going the other way.
I see. Yeah, for sure. Parodies are great. Like, what really works in a parody is like a few things do, but specifically a parody where you take exactly what you're saying. You take the song and you say, okay, it's about love. Well, I'm gonna sing about like penises, like, you know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
like you make it weird or whatever, silly, you know? Yeah.
Do you write sometimes about your partner?
Oh my, are you kidding me? Yes. My best 5 songs are about him.
It's all like, they're not, because I don't know if they're maybe like from a previous relationship, but you have
I have one from the period song.
Okay.
that's from my previous boyfriend, but I have 5 songs that I use right now about my boyfriend.
That's so good. And how do you think he likes, well, how does he feel?
Okay, the first time I ever wrote a song about him, I was so shy about it, and like I told him, I wrote a song about you. And he's like, okay. I'm like, can I do it on stage? He's like, yeah. Like, he didn't give a shit. Like, he's so different from like a lot of comedy people, because I feel like a lot of comedy people, we care what people think. We want people to like us, right? We want people, like,
yeah.
Like, I know for me, I like praise. I want to be praised.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
For him, he doesn't give a shit. Like, he doesn't care. Like, you know, like I could literally go up on stage and be like, my boyfriend has a stupid pair of balls, you know, and he'd be like, good job, babe, good job, that was good job. Like, he wouldn't, like.
I love it. I feel like because I care what people think about me, I do also like, I'm attracted to people who are a bit more yeah,
that's true.
It's almost, I'm wondering now though, do you think that's typical in a relationship, that one person cares about, or does it just vary within relationships?
I would say it varies, because I've been with guys who are incredibly self-conscious, right? Where like it's almost like a problem in the relationship kind of thing, right? You know, like the guy I wrote the period song about, like super neurotic, very like just not really a great dude.
How did he handle the period song?
Well, he liked it, you know, because the period song is like, I love you so much that I want you to fuck me always, you know, like, so he liked that, right? And like he was like gung-ho and like like big supporter of my comedy back then, you know, which was nice, but whatever. Yeah.
I know for me in relationships, like I always have a thing with, if someone is like too aggressive, like I feel like I'll match them and we'll fight all the time. But if someone is chill, I'll match them and we'll be chill.
Interesting.
So I learned to look for that, but then I've like mistaked it and thought I was dating somebody who was chill, but they were just chill about me because they weren't that interested.
Oh no.
So it's like, it's a weird fine tuning of like, you have to be chill just because you're calm.
Oh, there you go. That's funny. When I'm around someone who's like no anxiety, that gives me more anxiety kind of thing.
Oh yeah.
Right? Yeah. Right? But like if I'm around someone who's like anxiety, they have anxiety, but it's just like a little bit less than what I have, I'm like, oh, okay, I can relax, you know? Like I can like wade into this pool and just
yes.
Yeah.
I find people with no anxiety really frightening.
Yeah.
Because I feel like I have to look out for them. And then I'm like, no.
Yeah. That's true, eh?
Well, I guess it's nice to talk to people who have a chill perspective.
That's true. Yeah. And honestly, I think like life, and as I age, I become less anxious, kind of thing. You know, I've noticed myself being less anxious, but I feel like my family, I'm not the only one. It's my whole family. Okay.
Yeah.
Like we're all high strung. Like our neutral is anxious. You know what I mean? Right. So like I've become less anxious, but I don't think I'm ever going to be like, you know, not anxious.
Yeah. I find my family's anxious too, but the word I've started using is reactive. Because I feel it when we get together that we're just hanging out at someone's house for, holiday meal, and everyone reacts to like every little thing. Like if somebody drops a fork, like it's always a big deal. And I'm like, I want to yell at them to chill out.
Just chill, yeah.
But I can't chill out.
Oh, no.
So it's like, it's a whole, we feed each other and it's too much.
True. That's true. Yeah. My parents are both ex-military, right? So like you can imagine how high strung that was to grow up in that environment,
No. Yeah. Okay. This is new information for me.
Okay. All right.
Because I feel like you seem very like open-minded and artsy, and I wouldn't imagine any military, maybe like one random cousin or something.
Yeah, you know what? Yeah. And honestly, that's probably why I'm in therapy right now, because I'm so different from the rest of my family, right? Like my sister's fine. She's cool. Like, and don't get me wrong. Like my parents are actually not close-minded for the most part. My dad, in fact, is incredibly open-minded. Like I've been able to like explain to him what trans, what trans is. I would explain to him, like buy stuff, all of the all the flags, basically, right? And he might not fully understand, but he tries, like he's like, what's non-binary? I'm like, well, it's like you could be either both or neither kind of thing. And he's like, oh, all right. Like, and he doesn't totally get it, but like he tries to get it, he does his best, yeah.
So did they meet serving in the military?
They did. Okay, this is a fun story. I didn't know this for a long time. I didn't know this until I think it was maybe about 3 years ago. He told me this. My dad told me this, that he met my mother and he instantly fell in love with her, and they were both in training, right? And he asked her on a date and she said, okay, yes, please. And then they dated for 2 weeks and he proposed, and that was it.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
That's
locked
amazing.
that shit down.
That's incredible. So were they like overseas together or just on a Canadian military base?
It was just Canada, actually, right here in Toronto.
Nice. Yeah. And then were they in it for a long time? Was that part of your childhood?
Yes. My mother, her whole life, basically, her whole working life at least. Well, I mean, she worked for my grandfather's restaurant. That was her first job. But when she turned 18, she was like, peace, and she joined the military.
And her whole career.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and when she retired, she made it to the rank of major.
Your mother is a major in the military.
Oh yeah, she is.
That's incredible.
she's a badass chick. She is.
And you work in a weed store. You play guitar. You do musical comedy, and like, of all the people I meet, you're always so sunny.
Oh, thank you.
Like there's some negativity. Sometimes you go to a mic and people are like complaining about their day, and like you come in smiling.
Oh, thank you. That's so sweet.
That's hilarious. Okay, is she a serious person, like just day to day?
Yeah, for the most part. Like she can be silly, mind you. But like, I mean, yeah, I think being in the military it's an act, right? Like from the time they start training you in basic training, you learn, or they did, I guess, to sort of turn off your actual personality, and I'm in soldier mode now, right? And I think it's a thing you can actually turn off and on, kind of thing. And when she's home with us, she's mom, she's not Major Chung. She's hey mom, what's up? Yeah.
That's really cool. Yeah, I think someone said that to me once. Like, you're wearing a uniform, but it's not just the clothes. Like, it's the whole thing.
Yeah. And honestly, I think it's just like it's not really you that's taking orders. It's, some sort of autopilot version of you that's, march, all that shit.
Yeah. Do you think that would that make your day-to-day life easier or harder? For you specifically.
Okay. I don't know. I can't take orders. I can't do it. Even if it's not really me taking the orders. Like, I can't, like, okay, now march. I'm like, I don't want to. No.
Okay. I don't have total problem with orders. Like, I can play along to that. But I do find, like, in day-to-day life, I like to be on my own time because I just need a bit more room, I think, like to get things done. So it can't always be the exact way someone else wants it, right?
True. True.
But your mom, she liked her career.
Oh, I think she loved it. I mean, she did it her whole working life, right? Actually, they're interesting. The two of them, they're very, very like cognizant about not getting old. Basically, they don't want to slow down, so they still work out every day. You know, Can
I ask how old they are?
I think late 50s, the two of them now.
Nice.
Yeah.
And they're just working out.
They work out. They took another job. They actually they work for my sister now.
Okay, wait. So you said, did your dad leave the military before your mom?
Yeah. They both joined together at the same age. Well, actually, my dad's 2 years older than my mom. But anyways, they both joined at the same time. And then my dad, kind of had this like phase where he was like, I don't know if this is for me. And so he quit the military. He worked for a pizza shop for a little bit. He worked in IT for a little bit. And then he was like, this sucks. And then he was like, I gotta get back in the military. And he did. He had to do like, had to be deployed to Canada for I think it was 2-3 years, just to like retrain or whatever, which is kind of silly that the military makes you do that, but that's what it is. And he joined back, and he insists that it's the best career anyone could possibly have.
Yeah.
So
that's wild. Yeah. I can't. Okay. I like it though. Yeah. This is like we're finding out the mysteries of
Yeah. Well, yeah. Yeah, and I'll admit that like I did have a huge phase of rebellion, like fuck war, fuck the military, mom and dad are like making war happen, like, which obviously they're not. Like,
this is all your fault.
Yeah.
Okay, so I feel like sort of because I grew up going to church every Sunday. And so I got really rebellious against religion, but it took me a while to realize like the specific church we went to wasn't very strict. Like it's the United Church, so there's not that many rules, and they've been changing them over time, so it kept getting more liberal. Like, they started marrying gay couples and all this stuff. So, but I was like, I wanted to be more like aggressive against it because I think it just was in me as a teenager to be.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I was also raised Catholic, and, like, I think if you're really raised with any religion, you're just like, fuck religion at some point, right? You have to, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Catholic's a weird one, but I went to a Catholic college, and I found a lot of those kids had a very liberal upbringing, even if they were involved with the church.
Fair.
But it varies, I guess.
I think so, yeah.
Did you go to Catholic school?
Ugh, I did, yeah.
Was it, you were in Ottawa?
Okay. So because of the military, I've lived in a lot of different cities.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So I went to a Catholic school between the ages of 5 to 12, and then a non-Catholic school for the ages of 16 to, what was it? I guess it would have been 18. And then back to Catholic school, and then that was the end of high school, and then I went to college, and that was it.
Nice.
Yeah.
So did you like Catholic school?
No, I hate it. Especially going back, because, I mean, I think, like, inherently in the practice of Christianity, there is just, like, this feel bad, feel guilty. Like, that kind of, like, you're bad, you're guilt, like, just don't feel good about yourself. Like, there's guilt, Catholic guilt, right?
Yeah.
Right? So, like, when I was released from that, and I was, especially Barrie was such an artsy town at the time that I lived there.
Yeah.
All my friends just happened to be like artists, actors, poets, all of this sort of thing. And that was like so fun for me. And like part of me attributed that to like, yeah, they're only like fun and cool because they're not fucking listening to Catholic bullshit, right? Which is, whatever. Right? So those 3 years in Barrie just were so precious to me, right? And then when I went back to school, I was just, I told myself I hated it,
Yeah.
And, and I think like you're right too. Like a lot of people who like study Catholicism don't fully believe it. Like they're like, yeah, gay people are cool, you know, like whatever, God's whatever, you know, they don't really care. But then there's people who really, really do, and that's kind of the downside of it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I have a friend who was really not religious, but he wanted to be a teacher, and it was a hard time to be a teacher, and he knew there were teaching jobs in the Catholic school board, so he became a Catholic. And then he ends up being a proponent of Catholic education because he's teaching kids, and including special needs kids, and he's like, it's just easier to talk to people if you can have like, to little kids, if you can have like God as like a right and wrong. And he's like, but it also fosters like, you can talk about ideas of love and try to like bring positivity like through those sorts of stories.
Okay.
It's also educating children, I think, is maybe different than what a lot of we think about with our education. Is I think the older stuff that we remember better when people are getting really into rules and how.
Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah. Yeah, and I guess that's why people rebel. Like that, I guess that's why teens rebel specifically, is because we want to find our own personal rules, our own personal identity, and all that.
Yeah. And I think it's unsafe if you don't rebel, because then the society doesn't change. People just keep doing whatever their parents did.
Yeah, true. Yeah, absolutely. I think society definitely benefits. Well, that's kind of silly to say. Society benefits from teenage rebellion. Yeah, like, but yeah, I think it kind of does. I don't know. Like, I think. Yeah, you have to just as your personal development, you have to like find your own legs and find your own identity and thoughts and like all of that, right?
Yeah. Even like as I'm in my 40s now, and I have to like be forgiving of young people because like a lot of the time they're insulting like the older generation. I'm like, that's me. And there's part of me that was like, no, I'm still young, like I'm still cool. But then I'm like, well, no, like I am an adult now, and I'm also an adult of my generation, and it's like that's okay to just be and let young people be trying something newer and different that I'm not necessarily part of.
Fair enough. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, actually, what's interesting is that my boyfriend is 13 years older than I am. So
nice.
he's just like your age as well, and like your generation's fucking awesome. Okay, like no, I'm like you guys fucking like you. Okay, like my generation is like so lazy. I think, you know, we're pretty like we a little entitled, and like not to turn my back on like my freaking, you know, whatever, but being around my boyfriend so much, his mindset is just so different, and it's being around him has taught me a lot, you know. Like I think before I met him, I was really into like social media, right? And I was really into all this like the woke stuff, and I still am woke. But being around him, he would point out where like, actually this thing that you just said is kind of stupid. I'd be like, why? You know, because a lot of wokeness is very aggressive, right?
Yeah.
Right. And he'd be like, well, actually, you know, like, you know, that's you're kind of you know, you're being over dramatic, or like not over dramatic, but he'd say stuff like, well, that doesn't make sense. I'd be like, why? And he'd be like, well, because of this and this and that. And I'd be like, oh yeah, you know. So like, and then like knowing him has like changed my mindset in a way where like I've realized that if I want something, I have to work my ass off for it. And yeah, I think that's something that like a lot of young folks, you know, we don't get as much, you know, we don't get taught that, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't even know if it's generational. I feel like it's kind of just every person reaches a certain age where they have to learn to pick up their feet. Although weirdly, like some people I think come out of the gate too intense, and then they'll have a point where they have to learn how to calm down and like let things happen. So most people have this kind of like life crisis of like either tightening up or like
loosening.
Yeah.
That's interesting. Fair enough. Yeah.
Is the age difference ever hard between you two?
Yeah, sometimes. But yeah, no, he's tired a lot. So like, yeah, I do more housework and shit, but you know, other than that, I don't know. It's just lovely having him around, honestly. Like, I didn't think I would ever find someone that I like this much. Never mind love this much, you know?
That's so cool. Did you know right away?
Not really. Actually, it was kind of funny. So, like, the way we met is that I was bartending at this little dive bar, right? And I was there for 3 years, and he was a regular there. And, you know, he'd come in, and I'd be so excited to see him, but, like, I'm trying to hide it because I'm trying to play it cool, right? So he'd come in, and I'd be so excited to see him, and, like, we'd just start talking and laughing and joking. And then I'd walk away, and he'd be like, "Oh, sorry, you didn't actually give me my beer?" Yeah. So yeah, I knew him for many years, and because he came there to drink and vent, I saw the worst sides of him. You know what I mean?
my God.
And honestly, like when I worked there, I was still figuring my shit out too. So he saw some pretty bad sides of me, and then so when we got together, you know, there's no lying because like we've both seen.
You were bar friends.
Exactly.
That actually helps me. Yeah, because I've had those like bar situations when you know people regularly because you're going to the same place, and that is actually a really chill way to get to know someone.
Yeah, fuck yeah. Yeah. So yeah, we knew each other for like 3 years before we even thought of hooking up, you know?
I like that. Sometimes I find I think my hardest part with dating as an adult is you're oftentimes meeting someone and it's just the two of you and you're supposed to figure them out. And I liked when you were in school and you would know someone over like years and you just know who they are, right? Whereas and you getting to know someone in a group over a period of time, it just takes the pressure off of like these weird kind of, I feel like online dating turns into like some kind of weird interview. Like I have to show up and tell you who I am. Oh, and I'm like, I don't know. Ask my friends.
Yeah. Right? Oh my God, that's funny. Yeah.
Did you do any online dating?
Yeah, I was on Tinder. Ugh. It was gross. Oh God. And you know what too? Like I've been comedy for like since I was really young, and I ended up dating comics a lot. I'm like, ugh. I'm not kidding, just like ugh. I think the scene is better now, I'll be honest. But like back then, like toxicity was rampant.
Okay, so I need you to explain this because I came into comedy just a year and a half ago.
Right.
You were there before the pandemic. So what year did you start comedy?
I don't even know. I've been in it since like high school.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you know like this last decade of comedy and I've heard this from other people. There was some negativity.
So much. My God. Like it was almost like a competition of like, no, I'm more toxic. No, I am. Like, it was bad. And like, man, I've seen people come back into the scene, and there's kind of that shell shock or like almost culture shock, I guess, of, oh, things are different. Oh, I can't be like that. Oh, shit. Okay. Ugh, you know?
So what were the factors that changed it?
I think, especially when the pandemic happened, right? Comedy was yanked away from us, and we all kind of realized, oh shit, like as human beings, we need this.
Yeah.
Right? And so like when it came back, there was just a select few of people who kind of led the charge in like, no, we're not doing that again. And for one, people started paying comics more, right? Like if you make money at the show, it's going to the comics as well.
Yeah.
And then just kind of a positivity and sort of like an accountability came along with it. And like it's sort of now, you know, it's like a lot of like bad behavior is just immediately, no, don't do that, you know, like, and it's a much healthier scene.
I love it.
Yeah.
I really, Carly was on here a couple weeks ago and she was saying just that the quality of her first open mic mattered a lot to her. Like she was at Mark Hallworth's mic and she had a really positive experience, and she said if it had been bad, she probably wouldn't have gone back. So then the fact that things aren't as toxic, I think more people are having a better first mic.
That's great. That's awesome. That's really cool. I'm glad because I think like you know, there's something in us as comics that we need comedy, and so I'm happy that there's more people sticking with it and making it a part of themselves and their lives, you know?
Yeah. And the other thing that shook me a lot, because I kind of had a positive experience during the pandemic. Like I had a job I could do at home. So I was pretty busy, and I didn't have to like go out in the world. But I was talking to someone in the scene who had kind of a breakdown during COVID, and he said that like it was the loss of the community, and he didn't have anything to do. He had a check coming in, but he couldn't stay sane. And so he had struggles. And then I feel like that kind of hit me, like how much community this scene is to people and how like vital.
Nice.
So that made me feel like positive about being part of it.
Nice. That's lovely.
You know,
yeah. Another thing too that the scene's given birth to is like the female friendly mics.
Yeah.
Or not even just female, but like feminine friendly mics, right?
Yeah.
And I feel like yeah, a lot of comedy has always been like you had to at one point, you had to direct your comedy towards men. Like when I started, walk into any comedy show, 90% men.
Yeah.
The girls that were there are there because their boyfriend's like, no, this is really fun, and they drag them with, right? But like now, you look at like you go to a club, it's half and half.
Yeah.
You can go to like the female friendly rooms, it's mostly girls, and you can see it, like it's happening where like people are making specials that are comedy for feminine people. Right?
Yeah. Because like some of my favorite comedians right now, there's Mae Martin, who I guess they might be non-binary.
I think so.
But
yeah.
they're still not a comedy for men.
Exactly.
Do you know what I'm saying?
Yes.
And then Catherine Ryan, who is another Canadian who kind of got big while living in England and has a big Netflix special and a show.
Yes.
She has 2 specials now. But that's kind of, I think, examples of like, I don't know. It's for a female. I shouldn't say that. Like, it's not for a male audience. Like, it doesn't sound like they were trying to be one of the boys and write for a bunch of dudes. And I think the scene right now, you just see a lot of it. Like, if these people are to go far, it's going to be for a more female audience.
Absolutely. And I think there's like certain people with certain voices that just are feminine, and you know, they want to talk about feminine stuff, and they want to joke about like feminine issues. They want to, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I feel like for a lot of my career, had to, you know, appease men. And now I'm realizing I can do both. I can do both. I could abandon men altogether and just be like, just for the girls, or I could, you know, ignore the girls completely and just be for the men. I could do either, honestly.
Yeah. One thing that I like is I feel like I can be mean to dudes, and like it's like you can have a diverse audience and you don't have to like pander. Like you can kind of be yourself, and I can make some like incel jokes, or I don't like sexist people, and like people kind of just handle it. Like they're like comedy audiences will handle someone different from them.
That's right.
And,
yes.
And I think some of the people I enjoy, I know their life experience isn't like mine, and they're not writing for me, but they know how to just do it in a way that's fun.
Ah, there you go. Yeah, that's true. That's true. But you're right. Like men are more accepting of like men. You know, like they're getting to the point where like, okay, it's funny.
And I think sometimes like men will like displacement aggression, so they like someone being mocked, even if it's them. Like there's just gotta be some kind of asshole in this story, or if you start roasting a guy in the audience, the other guys are like, fuck yeah.
That's true, eh? There we go. That's funny. Yep.
But what was it like? How do you think you maintained when it was still male dominated?
I don't know. I think I just needed comedy so much that I was like, sure, whatever, yeah, okay, you know, like, right? And like, still too, like a lot of the like the stuff I write, I'm not going for like one or the other. I'm kind of going for both, right? And like you can do that if you want, I guess, you know. But yeah, you can do female, you can do male, or you can kind of do both, or you can kind of do neither, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, but like, yeah, back then it was just like there was no other option. It was just appeal to the dudes, or like don't expect laughs. That was it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's weird because you get these like hardcore comedy fans who are men, and that's where comics grow up. But then those people go on to write TV shows and produce all this other media. And I think, you know, you have all these female audiences across the world who want shows and movies for them. And so you need comedians growing up in a comedy scene that makes a space for them.
That's true. Yeah, absolutely. Comedy is definitely going to keep changing, and I'm happy for it. Like, we're going to be getting so much more opportunities as femme people, like, for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What's your favorite female or femme-friendly mic?
I don't know. Ah, shit.
All of them.
Yeah,
I
kind
should
of.
ask you.
Oh man. I have a soft spot for Tammy's.
Tammy's Wine Bar.
Specifically the Mondays. I like the Mondays.
And that's what Rachel Manson hosts,
yes,
right?
Yes.
That was my first time at Tammy's. Was
but
her
also
mic.
Bradshaw. Her and Bradshaw. It's they do it by like they flip back and forth. So when Rachel does it, she encourages new material kind of thing. When Bradshaw does it, it's more of a jam.
Oh, when you say jam, do you mean like feedback?
Yeah, feedback.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Very cool.
Yeah.
I should check that out. I did Rachel's mic, and I think I just thought it was always her, but that's cool.
No, yeah, she's great. I freaking love her. She's awesome.
I feel like I see you a lot at Thades.
Yeah.
At the lab.
Oh, yeah. Well, that's because the lab treats me really well. Danton's given me like a bi-weekly hosting on Thursdays, which is why you see me at the Thades, is because I'm just staying from the early mic.
What do you host there?
It's called Laugh Therapy.
Nice.
Yeah. I was at a time doing it was called We're All Asian Here.
Oh my God. I love it.
Unfortunately, because of summer ticket sales, we had to I was doing We're All Asian Here, and then Hershawn Aurora was doing the Desi mic, and then the 80s would happen, right?
Yeah.
And like Desi was actually getting like good viewership, like pretty good attendance rates. We're All Asian Here was spotty. It was here and there kind of thing, right? And it was cool. It was really fun. Like I wrote all this material about like my half Asian heritage, just anything about my mom, my grandfather, anything I could possibly think of about like my connection to like being Asian.
Yeah.
It was fun.
Was your grandfather an immigrant?
Yes. He actually passed quite recently, a few months ago.
I'm sorry.
Oh, yeah, old age, so I mean, that's the least sad way to go possible.
Yeah.
But yeah, he was living in actually India, Calcutta. He was the 4th generation of Chinese people living in India.
What?
Yes.
I'm so basic. I don't know anything. I didn't know they had Chinese people in India for 4 generations.
That's right. Yeah, not a lot of people knew that. And there's actually a whole genre of cuisine called Hakka, which is Indo-Chinese cooking.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
It's amazing.
And yeah, he was living there. The coolest thing he ever did with his life was that he said, fuck India, and he came to Canada. He brought all of his children, so all 5 of his children, including my mother, and my uncles and my aunt. And then he brought his wife, my grandmother, and then just a bunch of his like friends and relatives. He sponsored them, like a whole clan of people. So like I didn't realize this until actually his funeral. I was never told this story.
Oh my God, that's so sweet.
My uncle told the story, right? And I found out, and I had always kind of questioned, like, wow, why are there so many of my relatives here, specifically in Toronto?
Yeah.
And, the day of his funeral, I found out, oh, it's because he brought them here, right?
That's wild. So was it not a good situation for Chinese people in India?
You know what? I'd have to ask more questions to find that one out.
Yeah, I want to learn so much more, especially about the food.
Oh, it's so good. Oh my God. It's it's like it's spicy and it's sweet and it's so good.
I love when people get the sweet and spicy going. Like the combination is incredible. And I feel like it's an art.
It's really good, honestly. I'll take you. Come to my apartment. There's a Hakka place down the street. We'll go.
I love it. Thank you so much. Yeah. So the mic, the We're All Asian here got merged with the Desi mic?
Kind of. So I think I'm not 100% this on the history, but I think laugh therapy was a thing. And then Danton said, let's try splitting it up into two things. And then because ticket sales in some are just, they're not a thing. You know? It's very rare to have a full show in the summer, and that's just how it is. So Denton said, okay, at least for now, let's go back to just you host one week, you host the other week. Like I host one week, Harshan does another. And we're doing that now, which is fine. You know, it's really nice to be able to like host at least a couple times a month. Yeah, it's like it's a skill set, and it's you know, I really like being able to like having a reason to regularly be leaving the apartment. You know, okay, like bye darling, I'm going to a show now. You know, like, I find it really hard because I want to hang out with him. I want to watch the boys with him. I want to cook for him. But I have to also, you know, care about my comedy career, right? So it's nice to have a place that I specifically have to go because I'm booked and I have to do my best, you know, because I'm a host, and you can't just, you know, like if you have a bad set as a host, the whole show sucks. Right? Yeah. So like if you have a bad set like on a show, your set sucks and the rest of the show is fine, right? Yeah, you have to carry the whole, well, not carry the whole show because but yeah, you're so important when you're hosting. It's a skill. I'm so new compared to you, and it's like it's something I host at Salto's sometimes on Wednesdays because it's just an open mic. It's not like a book show, but it's just that opportunity to run a show, and it's good. It's good practice. It's good practice. Yeah. Oh, and then I forgot. I'm hosting my own show this Monday. Ooh. So it's going to be every fourth Monday at Backroom, and it's called Funny Bitches with Karen Mitches. I love it. I love it. That's awesome. That's so cool. It's so cool. That's awesome. I love that. I love that about this, like, because you work hard. And I'm finding the people in the city that work hard are getting opportunities, which is the way it's supposed to be, and it's lovely. And there's something amazing about like picking the comics and like making the poster, and just it's your show, right? Like I've only hosted, like promoted my own show once before. Nice. And then this will be like my first, and it's kind of like a running one. So yeah, that's it's awesome. Really exciting to do. That's so cool. That's so cool. That's awesome. Congrats. Thank you. Thank you. Yeah. That's cool. I really didn't understand going into comedy how much there was about like I don't know if it's the business side of it, but promoting and hosting and putting things together and making things happen. You know what I realized about like the business side of things is that it actually bleeds into your material, right? Where like marketing yourself is also writing material that sort of like establishes you almost as a brand. I never really thought of that. I didn't think about it until like a week ago. Like fuck, you know what I mean? Like, but yeah, I've realized like with especially my musical comedy, there's so much opportunity to kind of like brand myself in a certain way. And I think if you are able to do that successfully, then it makes you easily digestible for a bigger audience. And that's what I'm going for, right? I want I want the next opportunity. I want a big opportunity kind of thing, right? Yeah. So, I've realized there's certain things I can write about that help, you know, sort of sell it almost, which is kind of shady to think about. But honestly, you know, it's like... Yeah. But I mean... It sounds negative when you say it like sell it, but it's like if I want you to like come to my party, I have to like sell you on it, right? Like it's just kind of getting people onto this thing that you're doing. Yeah. And the other thing too is that pay attention to who appreciates you, and that's your audience, right? So like something I had to learn somewhat recently is that there are people in this world that are not going to like anything I say, and they're not going to like me. They're going to have their own stupid reasons. But then there's people in this world that really do like and support me, and that's my audience, and that's who I need to be talking to. That's who I need to be writing for. That's who, you know, that's who I want to hear what I'm doing, right? That's really good.
I feel like I needed to hear that. I think because this week was maybe a bad week politically, and I was angry a lot. I was like, should I tell everyone to fuck off in my comedy?
But that's a genre too. Fucking Janice Israeloff does that shit. Like, she's so fucking funny. She's so angry all the time, and she's so good at it.
Like, I love Janice Israeloff because she does this bit where she talks about her kids being mean to her, and she has like adult kids, and there's not a lot of women in comedy, and there's not a lot of moms in comedy.
That's true.
And a lot of moms that I talk to have younger kids. They're closer to my age, or they're younger than me even. But she's got grown-up kids, and she's just like, they're ungrateful. And I'm like, I laugh so hard. It's like, I don't know why. There's just something incredible, like, to put all that work into your kids.
That's great. That's funny.
But, yeah, no, I like the idea of, like, thinking about who actually appreciates you and recognizing that that's your audience.
Right, but don't pander. Of course, don't pander.
Yeah.
Like I think it's more of like a Venn diagram between like, I like this, they like this, we like that, right? Because you don't like, the idea of pandering is just ugh. Like I think people can tell when you're like, well, people like when I talk about this thing, you know?
Yeah.
So
no,
like, yeah,
definitely no pandering.
Mm-hmm.
But I think even because there's so much criticism in the world, so sometimes it's not even around my stuff, but I'm looking at something someone else put out, whether it's comedy or just something, and you're seeing these reactions to it, and then you think nobody likes anything, everybody is mad at everything all the time. And it's like, well, yeah, but if you just think of the people who like your stuff, it's like, well, I don't have to talk to everybody who's going to be mad at this stuff. You can just talk to the people who will like it, and let everyone else
everyone else can
like
hang,
it.
whatever. Yeah.
So you've recorded like some music videos.
I've recorded, well, yes, I've done my own, but I paid to get the period song recorded by a professional videographer.
Amazing. So can you tell me about that process?
Sure. So I decided I would need a professional recording of the audio.
Mm-hmm.
I decided that, and so it's kind of funny. I went to this one guy. He was super cheap, and it was the sketchy ass building in the sketchiest part of my neighborhood. And when I met him, he had only ever done recordings for rappers. Okay, so he had a mic set up for people to rap into, and I was like, "Oh, where can I plug in my ukulele?" He goes, "Plug in." I'm like, okay.
Oh my god.
Right. So we spent essentially one session just floundering, trying to figure out how to get my ukulele recorded at all. And then we spent the next session. I brought my own cord, and so he was able to plug it in. We got it all done, and then he what was it? What's the balance it? I can't remember what it's called, but like it's where you take the music and then you just kind of like fix the levels and whatever. I can't remember what it's called. He did that for basically free. And then I had my audio, and then I went into a bunch of like Facebook groups, and I was like, hey, I want to do a musical comedy thing. And as soon as most people hear comedy, they go, nope. And it took me a while to find someone who was like, comedy? Yeah, for sure. And it was Saul, is his name, and he heard the song, he loved it. And then I had like half the video was like my idea, the other half was like, what if we did this, what if we did that? And I was like, that sounds awesome, right? So very much a collaboration. And yeah, it turned out not too badly, and I'm pretty proud of it. And I'm hoping to, I have a couple new songs I just wrote that I think are so funny.
Yes.
That I want to also record and then also make a video for. Yeah.
I love it. Yeah. To me, it must have felt really special to see it finished.
Okay. You ever like, hear recording yourself talking? You're like, ew, that's how I talk.
Yeah.
It was a little bit of that with the video. I'm like, oh my God, that's how I emote. Oh. But like the people who've seen the video, who have shown it to, they're like, that's really good. I'm like, okay.
Is it out there?
Yeah, it's on the internet right now.
Okay.
It's called The Love Song by Rebecca McDonald.
I love it. But this is the period.
It's the period song.
Okay.
It's the period
Which
song.
I always want to request that song when you're doing I don't shout it out because I know you have material you want to try out, but
oh no, it's yeah, honestly one of my best songs, actually the best song I've ever written. And yeah, I was talking earlier about like marketing myself. I realized how good the period song is, so I've been writing more songs about like tangentially about like sexualness and just being sexy and just like hot and like whatever, like that kind of vein of humor, and it seems to be working, so I'm gonna keep doing it until it stops working.
I love it. I feel like there's something amazing when like someone with a ukulele gets sexy. Is it Marwan who plays your boyfriend?
Yes, it was Marwan. Oh my God.
Marwan was on here and he was a gem. So I'm glad that he was, also in your music video.
So here's the thing. I won't tell you who I asked, but I asked this other comic, hey, do you want to be in my music video? He was like, sure. And I was like sending him details. I'm like, okay, so we're going to do the date. And he's like, okay, that sounds great. And then I eventually asked him, like, do you not want to do this video? And he was like, not really.
Oh, no.
Right? And I was mad about that. So, like, I was at a show, and I was just ranting to Marwan. I'm like, oh, this guy, he doesn't want to even do it. And Marwan goes, dude, I would do anything to, like, be in that music video. And I was like, well, do you want to?
That's amazing. Oh, my God.
Yeah, that was, yeah.
Okay. So now everyone has to check out this music video to see Marwan's performance. Good for him.
And if you don't, and I know you've listened to the podcast, I will hate you for the rest of my life. Just keep you.
So on the horizon, you've got your show, then you've got these music videos coming out. Do you have the songs recorded yet?
I have a lot of songs recorded. Actually, this is kind of funny. So there's this distribution website called DistroKid. DistroKid.
Okay.
DistroKid. And what you can do is you pay like, I think it's like $10 a year. Maybe not. Something around that. And then you put your songs on their platform. And then they take your songs, they put it on Apple Music, YouTube Music, all of the apps, right? Spotify, everything, right? And you actually get money every single time someone plays your song. Keep in mind, it's like a percentage of a cent.
Yeah.
Thing, right? But you can do it, and you can just put it out there. And I did, and I didn't check it for like a year. I came back, and not only did I surpass the amount you need to pay for the service, I actually earned $16.
Amazing.
It took a couple of years, but yeah, I did it.
I love it.
But yeah, at home I have actually my best friend from Ottawa, she gave me this it's called an interface, right? So it plugs into your computer, and then you plug your instruments into that. And it had 2 ports, so you can do one for your instrument, one for your vocals. I actually have one song that was played on the radio called Making Money, where I had actually done like a full percussion sort of thing, just using like my hand, like snaps and claps, and like just like smacking my ukulele case as a kind of bass whatever thing. Yeah. So yeah, like I have my songs.
It's called Making Money.
It's called Making Money. It's the song. The whole song is just all of the absurd ways you could possibly make money in this world. Yeah. But yeah, who was it? Shoot, I can't remember her name, but she works in one of the outskirt towns of Toronto. I can't remember exactly which one it was either. CFRU is what it was. I don't remember what it stands for. But yeah, she knew me from comedy, and she reached out to me. She's like, hey, do you have any songs that you think would be clean enough to be on the radio? And I was like, yes! And I sent her the Making Money song, and she put it on the radio. And so I've had a song on the radio.
I love it. Okay, so I have a big love of John LaJoie.
I love him. Yeah.
He's like, because he did, what's his song he got famous on? Everyday Normal Guy.
Yes.
The rap song where he raps around how normal he is.
Normal. Yeah.
But like I have an ongoing love of like every joke song he's made, the like serious albums he's put out.
Oh, I didn't know he did serious.
Long-standing celebrity crush. Which I actually realized it's probably, maybe people don't think that comedy musicians have like fans who love them like that. But are there any musical comedy people that you're like a diehard fan for?
Absolutely. There's Garfunkel and Oates. They're great.
Oh my God, I love them.
I know the butt sex song. Yeah, they're so. I haven't heard anything recent from them, which is kind of upsetting. I think they kind of both went their own ways. If I'm understanding what's.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
The thing that, at least like it seems like they both have been doing well. So sometimes it's a sign of success if you're not on an old project anymore.
That's a good point. That's a very good point.
I miss Pregnant Women Are Smug.
Pregnant Women Are Smug. Yeah. That was a good one.
And like they were coming out at the time, there just weren't a lot of gals. So it was really, really fun and special to see them.
Absolutely.
Anyone else?
Shoot. What are the names? Bo Burnham. I know some people have issues with Bo Burnham, but I find a lot of his music really good.
I like him too. He definitely falls into that category of like he's pretty good at just writing a damn song.
Yeah, and actually that's something any comedy songwriter should know, is that it doesn't have to just be funny. It also has to be a little pretty.
Yeah.
Which
you have to have legitimately the two talents. You can't be like, oh, I'm a comedian, but then I'll just hum that. Like,
if it's
wing
funny,
a song.
If it's funny enough, if the lyrics are funny enough, you really don't have to have the song sound too pretty. But if you have the song sound a little pretty, it just makes it that much better, right? Like it just bumps it up just a little level, you know, just like it's just a little extra perk kind of thing.
I love it.
Yeah. But yeah, no, Bo Burnham. Tim Minchin.
Okay, I don't know Tim Minchin.
Tim Minchin, he's fun. Okay, so he also does a piano thing.
Oh.
And what I was just talking about pretty music. He has this one comedy song, and I cannot remember the title, but the whole song, the first bit of the song is so fucking funny, and he's pointing out just a really sort of great perspective and just like a wonderful point. I think it's about how like if I didn't have you, someone else would surely do. And I think it's that song, if I'm not mistaken, where at the end of the song he just does this amazing piano freaking just beautiful piece, and it's so gorgeous, and like the whole song was so funny, and then the last bit is just so pretty, and like you just he finishes the song and you just your hands just start clapping. Like there's it's not even a thought, it's just it comes out, you know. It's just, yeah, exactly. it's so good. Nice.
Did you ever watch Flight of the Conchords?
Fuck yeah. They were really good too. Yeah. They're both doing like acting things now, right?
Okay, so I see Jermaine all the time, but I feel like, does Brett do anything?
I don't know.
I'm gonna have to Google him afterwards. I feel like he might be out there and I'm just missing it.
I hope he's out there. They're hilarious.
Because I think around the time it was like Flight of the Conchords, when you said Garfunkel and Oates, I immediately thought of
Flight of the Conchords.
Because me and my like bestie at the time were obsessed with both of those groups.
Yep. Yeah. Or what was it? The Lonely Island was really good too, right?
Oh, yes.
Yeah. Sorry. I think you wanted to talk about Fly the Conchords more. So
no, that's okay.
Sorry.
I'm always ready to talk about Dick in a Box.
That's a good one. Yeah. Sorry, I wanted to say about like, cause what's his name? Lead singer of the Lonely Island.
Is he also the one on Brooklyn Nine-Nine?
That's the one. That's what I want to say, is that it's really cool that he was able to move from music to like acting and writing and direct. I think he directs a little bit of the show, or directed because now the show's over.
Yeah. I'm drawing a blank.
Yeah, it's like Andy Samberg.
Yes,
there it is.
Andy Samberg.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. I always think it's like Adam Sandler but different.
Yes, but it almost makes it more confusing.
Yeah. But no, Flight of the Conchords. Jermaine was on Rick and Morty. He played the Cloud Fart.
I never watched Rick and Morty.
No?
And now it's one of those ones, like, my sister says this about Game of Thrones. It's like a property that's been going on for so long and people are obsessed with. It's like, can I come into it now? Or have I just missed it?
It's pretty inviting, I'll tell you that much. And like I don't care that much about TV. Like, I'm usually doing my own thing. Like, I want to be like writing or like, you know, reading or something, right? So like my boyfriend watches TV and I'm kind of just halfway there kind of thing. Mm-hmm. But Rick and Morty is very digestible.
Nice.
And yeah, and if you watch more than 2 episodes, you're gonna be a fan, and you'll understand. Like, you'll get into it. You're like, okay, I get it now. You know, it's like,
okay,
yeah,
I'm gonna look for it. I'm gonna watch 2 episodes.
Yeah, it's good.
If I don't like it, I don't like it.
Fair. Yeah.
I feel like sometimes I love TV and I've spent an inordinate amount of time watching TV, but I do feel like more and more I need it to be good for me to, like, there's just a lot of stuff I'm like, fuck it.
Right, because yeah, there's so many freaking streaming apps, right? Where like there's so much to possibly consume that's like, it's just too much. Yeah.
Okay, so it's been really lovely to have you on.
Yeah, this was fun.
So is there anything we want to plug specifically?
Sure. You can find me on Instagram, Rebecca McDonald Comedy on Insta. You can follow my YouTube page. Just look for, I guess, the same Rebecca McDonald Comedy, but as words instead of just one word.
Nice.
Yeah. What else? Yeah.
And the music video is on both.
Yeah, it is actually. Yes.
Okay. Yes. Nice. So thank you, Rebecca McDonald.
Thank you so much. This was so much fun.